Yeah, so you had that change of mindset where you said, okay, to some extent, I recognize that it's my own thinking that's led me to this point. So instead of following my own thinking, I'm going to listen to somebody else and follow their directions on how to get out of this predicament. So tell me what that process was like for you, and like how did you feel after you worked the steps?
Yeah, like after working the steps, like I just felt alleviated of a lot of like my mental health issues, which, to me was a shock. Like to me is still, I had such bad anxiety in early recovery and in active addiction. It was terrible. Like I was scared of my own shadow. So, you know what I mean? Like I couldn't even, like I was having like these panic attacks like in public and stuff. So I would like be scared of going outside and having a panic attack in front of people. Like I was panicking about having panic, you know? So it got really bad at that point. And time I finished the steps, man, I have anxiety today, but it's like normal anxiety, like before I speak, before I like you do like public speaking or if something's like a big buildup of an event. Um, but it's like normal. And that kind of all went away with the steps. Like, of course, I still struggle every day, still have human experience. I still have emotions, but I'm not like suffering in the way that I was even the slightest bit. So that was like the first thing. My emotions just got like 180 turned around. So that was like the first thing that I noticed. But and I had this God consciousness in my brain, like this kind of, I think I sort of always kind of had it in a sense, but like I started to listen to it.
I relate to that as well, right? My emotions, my mind, everything kind of balanced out to some extent after working the program. And then you touched upon the God consciousness. For me, the spiritual aspect of the program is probably the most meaningful and the most inspiring aspect of working the steps. So were you spiritual before you got into the program?
No, not at all, not in the slightest bit. And that's why I didn't like vibe with it at first or like look towards that as my solution. But again, it works. But yeah, so.
And what does being spiritual look like for you today?
Yeah, today, like I always have to tap in with prayer and what that means is like it's very easy to pray and talk to God when things are good, when things are going good, but it's when things are going bad is when I need to pray the most, you know. And I learned that early on. Like it's not about when God says yes, it's about when God says no, and that really tests your spirituality, so to speak because God's going to say no, and God has said no into my life a lot. Um, so I need to stay tapped in, and I've had so many experiences now where um, if I didn't have this God consciousness, man, I would I wouldn't be here, brother.